Today, my brothers, I bring to you a hadith regarding the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and in it is alamat al-nabuwa, signs of prophethood. For verily the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam informed us about a matter that will occur, and in it is great lessons. It shows you regarding the state of mankind and regarding their wealth and the love of it, and the guidance that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us. Allah says, mutual rivalry for piling up the worldly things diverts you away. Meaning the love of wealth and compiling it and competing with one another for it is taking us away from our real cause. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions حَتَّى زُرْتُمُ, that it is only when they will visit the graves, meaning that the time of death, will we come to know the reality. That having that hirs for the dunya, yearning for the worldly things, is a reason of corrupting your religion. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, two hungry wolves, ponder upon this, my brothers. Two hungry wolves sent in the midst of a flock of sheep are no more destructive to them than the man's greed for wealth and fame is to his religion. An example of this is the hadith that we wish to focus upon today in our khutbah. A tremendous hadith. It is from those ahadith that the ulama say are the ahadith that describe fitan, and from the signs of the hour. And Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu قال لا تقوم الساعة حتى يحسر الفرات عن جبل من الذهب. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that the hour will not be established up until the Furat, the Euphrates river, will dry. It will dry up, and then what will occur? Then a mountain of gold will appear. A mountain of gold will appear. يَقْتَتِلُ النَّاسُ عَلَيْهِ, and then mankind will fight over it. وَفِي الرِّوَايَةِ كَنْزٌ مِنَ الذَّهَبِ, treasure. So one riwayah it mentions mountain, one it mentions a treasure. The fighting will be so severe. The greed of wanting to have this gold will be so much that from every 100, 99 will be killed. Ponder upon that. The vast amount of people that will be killed wanting the treasure, wanting this gold when it appears. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, وَيَقُولُ كُلُّ رَجُلٌ مِّنْهُمْ لَعَلِّ يَكُونَ أَنَا الَّذِي أَنْجُو رواه Muslim. Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam went on to mention that even though this killing is occurring, that person will say to himself, maybe I will be the one that survives. When he sees all this killing going along, still, it does not deter him to go away. He will say, maybe I will be the one that will survive and will be able to take this gold. وَفِي رِوَايَةٍ, and in another narration in Muslim, فَإِذَا سَمِعَ بِهِ النَّاسِ سَارُوا إِلَيْهِ, and when this news will break and people will hear about this vast mountain of gold that will appear, people will head towards it. When that news spreads, they will want to go and have a part of that gold. فَيَقُولْ عِنْدَهُ, so the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that when they are there by the gold, they will say, لَإِن تَرَكْنَا النَّاسِ يَأْخُذُونَ مِنْهُ لِيُذْهَبَنَّ بِهِ كُلِّهِ. Look at the greed and the fear what they will have. When they will witness such a mountain of gold, they will say, if we leave the people to it, then they will take the gold. فَيَقْتَلُونَ, and then they will fight over it. But look at the mentality. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that they will hear about it and they will leave where they are and they will travel and they will go because that gold that they want. And even when they witness it, they will say, what shall we do? They start to think that we cannot leave it, because if we leave it, the people will take it, there will be nothing left. And that greed then causes them to what? Then to start fighting. The fighting that takes occur, that it will be 99 that will be killed to every 100. So where is this river? The Euphrates River, where is it? It is mainly in Iraq, but it stems right from Turkey, and it also goes into Syria and into Iraq. Regarding the way that you can gather between the different wordings, why was it mentioned a mountain of gold, and why does it mention also a treasure? He said, سبب تسميته بالكنز هذا بالاعتبار حاله قبل أن ينكشف. When it is referred to as a treasure, then it is indicating to before it is found, because that's what a treasure is. So when the wording is kanz, it's referring to before it appears. It hasn't appeared yet. وَتَسْمِيَةُ جَبَلًا, that it being referred to as a mountain, then isharati, that when it is referred to as a mountain, it indicates the vast size of the gold. How much gold there will be so much that it is referred to as a mountain. And the ones that will fight will be the Muslims, bi'asif al-shadid, as the ulama they have mentioned. Because al-malahim is referred to when the Muslims fight against the disbelievers. But this qital here is referred that the Muslims will fight his brother, will kill his brother, and that thing that drives him will be the greed of having the money and having that gold and its wealth and its value. So what do we do if that time comes upon us? Even that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam informed us. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, فَمَنْ حَذَّرَهُ, whoever is around at that time, then do not take from that gold. That is the command of our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If we see that time and around at that time, do not take from that gold. And what does that tell us? That the salvation lies in the ittiba of the sunnah of our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, even if you don't perceive to understand it. Meaning, so much wealth in front of us will only aid us, but there is fitan behind it. And the reasons why the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to leave it from the hikmah, Al-Imam Qurtubi rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, لِمَا يَنْشَأْ عَنْهُ مِنَ الْفِتْنَةِ وَالْإِقْتِتَالَ عَلَيْهِ. He said, because what comes by way of the fitna that it will bring, and the killing that comes with taking that gold. So this is why the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam commanded us to leave it. And that is something that we can also learn in our daily lives today. Not every wealth or not every riches may necessarily be good for us. Do not crave for something to the degree where your whole life changes, where you turn against your brother, you turn against your sister, you turn against your own family members. You are from the same womb, and yet you are enemies because of something that will perish and will not last. You yourself only have what Allah gives you for a temporary time. It is not something that will be with you forever. For verily you will perish, and you will take nothing with you except for your skin and bones into the grave. So how can it be that we become enemies to our brothers? We become enemies to our sisters. That be something that belongs to Allah. Do not let the worldly affairs make us become enemies. For indeed, remember, you take nothing with you to your grave. nothing except for your good deeds, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And that which you are fighting over, that which is making you hate your brother and sister, will be left for somebody else to consume and to use. So be wise. Reflect upon what the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam has mentioned. And as for those individuals that are spreading that this time has already come, they are amongst those individuals who attribute themselves to ilm and have said that this has already occurred. And they say it is the oil that is in Iraq. It is the oil. This is their tafsir and their ta'wil. But that kalam is batil. And the way that it is refuted is with the following points. Number one, the textual evidence is from the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentions gold. It doesn't mention anything about petrol or oil. Number two, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that the people will see this mountain of gold. They will see it. As for the oil, then you do not see it in that manner, in a form of a mountain. Also, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that they will fight over it. They will fight over it. And as for the petrol, that is widespread. And you do not find that is the asbab of qital all the time. It may occur sometimes, but not all the time. And finally, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, he gave us the place of where it will come. He said it is in the Nahar Mada Furat. Told us a specific place of where this gold will appear. As for oil and petrol, then it is everywhere. You find it in all corners of the world. So this is some of the points of Rad for those who claim that it is already been found in a form and in a way of oil. My brothers, we learn from this. The ulama, the scholars have said, at-tama', this greed is something that will destroy an individual. And no one will have salvation from this except for those who follow the guidance of the Quran and the Sunnah. They are the ones that will have salvation against this fitna. The ulama have said regarding this hadith, al-ba'ith ala hadha al-qital huwa at-tama'. The thing that drives this killing, it is the greed. وَمَعَ this greed, knowing that out of every 100, there will be 99 that will be killed. The individual that will be in this harb, he's aware of this. The ulama, they say, he knows the danger. He knows that from every 100, 99 are being killed. How do they derive that? From that part of the hadith where he mentions, لَعَلِّ يَقُونَ أَنَا الَّذِي أَنْجَى. Maybe I will be the one that will be alive and saved. I will be the one. He's hoping for this. But look, that does not deter him from not fighting. The hunger and the greed for that gold is so much that he's willing to risk his life to that degree. So that is something that shows you that if that enters our hearts, that greed to that degree, you can't see straight. You can't see what's right at that time. Once that greed becomes to that degree, when shaitan has fooled you to that much, that becomes your family. That becomes your deen. That becomes your religion. The money and the wealth. You don't see anything beyond that. If anybody gives you Qala Allah wa Qala Rasul, you can't see that. That revelation has no effect on you no more. Because what's driving you is that wealth. So we seek refuge in Allah Azza wa Jal from that. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless our wealth. May we be moderate. May we put Allah and His Messenger before all other wealth. And may Allah